I've got something huge. The past few months, there's been a lot going on with me. And some of it, pretty good. There's one thing that's really huge that's happened, and I mean, it's just like great news. So, and I really need help. I've got like 3,500 followers, and I was thinking, why not see if you guys can help me with this? You guys can help me spread this and maybe share the video, get others to watch it, and help me find someone I'm looking for. I ordered a DNA kit from Ancestry, and the main reason I did it was because I wanted to know my ethnicity, because I've never known my father. I knew his name, I knew where he lived, where he was from, but that was it. As I was growing up, my mom used to tell me stories about him, when they were together and everything. And she told me that he was Native American. And so I thought, well, I wanted to see for sure, because my family on my mom's side, they thought that we had Native American. But when I did Ancestry, our family tree, there was no Native American in our family tree. We went back to Scotland, Europe and Scotland. And so I was wondering, I want to see if I really have Native American on my dad's side. I mean, like I said, I've never known him. I've never known his family, that side of my family, or anything like that. So I didn't know. So I ordered the DNA test from Ancestry, and on New Year's Eve I sent it out, and they said it'd take about 6 to 8 weeks. So that was a long wait. Every day get on there to check and see where the process was. And then it was February the 11th. I was sitting in my living room watching TV. It's probably about 11 o'clock at night, and I get a ding on my phone. And there's this notification from Ancestry that my results are in. And so now I've got to take a deep breath. I'm like, okay, we're going to see. And I got on there, and no Native American, none. Not 1 ounce of Native American in my blood. So my ancestry, my heritage is from Ireland, Scotland, and northwestern Europe. So that's where my ancestry comes from. But anyways, they have this thing now, DNA match. So when you do your DNA, if there are other people who've had their DNA and they have their relation to you, it shows in their DNA that they are biologically related to you, you can see that on the results of your test. So I started getting these notifications of, here are your relations, your DNA matches, and all this. And I knew my father's name. I always knew his name. Well, I didn't know his full name, but I knew his name was Bowman. That was his last name. And so I got on there and I started going through these DNA matches looking for Bowman, thinking, oh, maybe I'll find somebody with, Bowman. And sure enough, I found second cousin whose last name's Bowman. And I was like, oh my goodness, really? And then I started seeing these other names, Bowman. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I thought, okay, what am I going to do with this? So I thought, well, I'm going to message them. What's the worst that can happen? They could just not reply, or not, want to have anything to do with me, or whatever. I'm not going to know unless I try. So I messaged 3 of them, and I had 1 reply, and I was so thrilled. And I asked her, because I knew my dad's name, well, not his full name, and I knew my uncle's name because when my mom was seeing my dad and his brother lived together. And so the stories that my mom told me was of my dad and my uncle. And so when I messaged my cousin, I asked her, I said, do you know anyone in the family who has brothers named Lonnie and Jess? Or Eddie. That's what my mom knew him as. And she's like, yeah, there's a set of brothers by those names. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, can this really be happening? Can I have found my dad? And so, I mean, it took about a week. You know, she did some investigating and researching. And my uncle, Lonnie, passed away in 2004. And I have some aunts, and they all passed away. My grandparents have passed away, but I do have one aunt who is still alive. She is 80. And so my cousin called my aunt to talk to her about, you know, information that I was able to give my cousin about what I knew of my dad and my uncle. And she wanted to check with my aunt to verify all this. And I remember one morning, I don't remember what morning it was, but I woke up and I got my cell phone and I went to open it, and there was a little message showing on my screen. And she says, I'm 99.9% positive that this is your dad. And I was like, oh my goodness. My mind was blown. I mean, it's just like, and from that, I started getting a lot of information about my dad and his family. And it's sad that a lot of my family on his side has passed away. And I will never, you know, get to meet them, get to know them. And my dad is missing. He is on a national missing list. So he's 77 right now. So there's a great chance I will most likely never get to meet my dad either. But I never knew what he looked like. And growing up, I always imagined, because my mom, like I said, would tell me stories, and she would describe to me what he looked like. And so I'd get all these images trying to picture what my dad looked like. And so my cousin sent me a picture of my dad. And it was just, like I said, it just blew my mind that I'm 40, I'll be 47 in June. And so all my life, I've wondered these things, and now I know, I mean, it's just, I can't explain it unless you went through, you know, you've been through something like this or experienced something like that. It's hard to explain what it's like. It's amazing and just overwhelming, and I've learned so much, and it just thrills me that I know this stuff. One thing I've learned, I have a half sister, and she was born either in 69 or around the same year I was born. So that would make her about in her older 40, like 40 or 50, 47, 50. I'm not, you know, I don't have her exact birth date, but I have this sister, and I don't know where she's at. She's out there somewhere, and it would be amazing if I could find her and meet her. And so I have some information, and I was thinking, well, I have about 3,500 followers on my page. Why don't I get on my page and see if I can get you all to help me to share this video, this information that I'm going to give you guys, spread it, and maybe, just maybe, someone on Facebook will see this video and they'll say, I know these people. Maybe I should get in contact with this Tina Stevens and talk to her about, you know, see what we can figure out. So, my dad's name, Jesse Eugene Bowman. He went by Eddie. which I knew the Jesse and Eddie. I didn't know the Eugene, so that's something I learned. My sister's name, all I know, is Amy Bowman, and I think, I'm not positive, because I haven't been able to find birth certificates. I've been doing research on Ancestry and other ancestry websites like GEDmatch and My Heritage and all this. And I haven't been able to find birth certificates yet, but I know, like I said, my second cousin has helped me so much, giving me information and looking up stuff for me. And I don't know what I would do if it wasn't for her. And so her name is Amy Bowman. That is her maiden name. I don't know. She's married now. I got a different name. So Amy Bowman. And then I have really grown up where I heard a lot of stories from my mom about my dad and my uncle. I always wanted to meet my uncle, because when my mom was pregnant with me, my uncle used to visit my mom, and after I was born, he visited my mom, and he wanted to help my mom, to take care of me and all this stuff. And so I thought, oh, it would be great to meet him. Just growing up, I always thought maybe one day. I mean, yeah, I wanted to meet my dad, but it would have been a plus to meet my uncle too. So my uncle's name is Oscar Lonnie Bowman Jr. And like I said, he passed away in 2004, but he has 4 children, which would be my first cousins, and they live or were born in Western Kentucky. Now, I live in Eastern Kentucky, and that is very close to me. It's like Bowling Green, Warren County. So I'm thinking, I've got followers on my page in Kentucky, in Western Kentucky. Maybe, just maybe, someone will know these people and can help us get connected. So my cousins' names from my Uncle Lonnie, let's see. We have Cynthia Bowman. Of course, the women, if they're married, I don't know what their last names would be, because I haven't found any marriage certificates or anything yet in my research. So Cynthia Bowman, Sandra Vady Bowman, Lonnie Dean Bowman, and Eva Kristen Bowman. So these are 4 first cousins that I have from Bowling Green, Kentucky. And it would be so amazing if I could find them and connect with them and actually meet them. I mean, that will be the closest thing I will ever have to knowing my dad and my uncle, would be them. Also, I have an aunt who's still alive, like I said, and maybe one day, I don't know, hopefully, I will be able to meet her, talk to her on the phone. I mean, we haven't gotten there yet. It was definitely a shock to her when my second cousin called her and talked to her about me. The only one in my dad's side of the family that knew about me was my uncle, and no one else knew about me, so she was shocked to learn that I existed. But hopefully one day we'll be able to talk on the phone, maybe get together and meet each other. Who knows? Right now I'm going to write her a letter and send her some pictures when I was a baby, when I was growing up, and me now, and of my children and my granddaughter, so she can see, kind of get to know me a little bit through that. So I'm just hoping that will help us connect. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could think of maybe y'all can help me with. Can't think of anything right now. But I'll keep y'all updated on this. But hopefully, I hope y'all can help me. Please share this and get this out there. I mean, it's been my life's dream. Growing up, like I said, My mom used to sit on my bed at nighttime and tell me stories about my dad and uncle, and being a kid, never knowing my dad. I mean, the only person that I ever connected with as far as a father figure was my grandfather, and I love him and I miss him so much. But it's different not having your actual dad in your life. I mean, it does affect a lot. I mean, having any parent missing from your life affects you. So, but this is my story. You see these stories of these families finally finding each other, and they get connected. Every time I watch these stories on TV, you know, I can't help but cry. And then you see these videos on Facebook of people holding up these signs saying they're looking for their mom or dad or whatever, and can you help me? So this is my video of my story, looking for my dad and my family. So I'm hoping that you guys will help me get this out there, so maybe one day I could find my family. And I mean, I've connected with 3 cousins, second cousins. The only first cousins that I'm for sure that are still alive are the ones in Bowling Green. I have some other first cousins, but I don't have a lot of information about them right now. So, but right now, like I said, I'm just connected with 3 female second cousins. And the one who's helped me, we have been messaging back and forth. And like I said, I wouldn't have known. I mean, if it hadn't been for the one, I wouldn't have known any of this. And so it's definitely been a ride. And it's been amazing. It's just, wow, blows my mind. But, so hopefully you guys help me share this video and all that. And I know it's been a while since I've been on here and done a live doing a wreath or painting or anything like that. Like I said, there's been quite a bit of stuff going on. And I don't want to get into that in this video, because this video, I want to keep it just about finding my dad or my sister or my cousins or whatever. I will keep y'all posted if I find out anything new, and if hopefully someone sees this video and helps me get connected with the rest of some more of my family. This will stay on my page and will be able to be shared just anywhere. And I'm also going to put this on my YouTube page, so hopefully it can get shared from there too. So I'm going to let you all go. And I appreciate you guys listening to me, joining me during my video. And I appreciate y'all helping me by sharing this video. So until next time, bye everybody.